Have you been involved in any civil rights organizations?
Well, I'm a member of the NAACP
Mm-hmm.
and have been for years. But active, well, I guess you could say that's somewhat active, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
active as most people would consider being active. But I support our movement as a people to uh, have a better quality of life in our country and be respected in our country.
What was one of your biggest accomplishments?
Mm, hard to say. The biggest one really was it came about when I was on the board for this museum here,
Mm-hmm.
and we struggled for basically 10 years to get people to believe in what we were doing and the cause we were trying to affect. Because we saw that our young people, young men and boys and girls, both were suffering from low self-esteem and things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. And then also the fact that white students in school were not understanding and had no curriculum to better understand our cultural differences. And so we wanted to be able to hopefully instill in a curriculum in our public schools in Iowa the
Mm-hmm.
fact of our black heritage and things of that nature. So these were some of the things that motivated us to do what we did.
What role were you in the African American Museum? Like, what were you trying to do for it?
Well, again, we were just trying to basically improve the lives and to allow our youth to really see the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we do have a rich culture and a rich heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And that hopefully we hoped in that and them discovering that they would realize that they don't have to have that they don't have to be despondent or displeased with themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have more respect and more pride in themselves and want to do better and want to do the best that they could. So hopefully we wanted to instill some pride in them, and we also wanted to introduce to the white population, white youth, the fact of some of the cultural distinctions of our heritage and our culture, so that they would understand who we are and what we are about, and we're not basically we're not hateful or despiteful or whatever. However, they've been told, because I think some of them have been told various things about us as a people, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And there are a lot of myths, so to speak, revolving around us as a people, but we hope to dispel all of that and wanted to dispel all of that in their lives, so that they wouldn't, as they were coming up, they would learn to respect us as a people and respect our heritage and our culture.
Mm-hmm. What was your happiest and saddest memory?
My saddest memory was when my father died. Like I say again, I was 9 years old and he was only 36 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he died of a heart attack. So it really hurt me
Mm-hmm.
because I felt I felt it deprived me of a father that I wanted to really get to know and enjoy. Also, the fact that it created a void in my life, because I believe every young man should have a male to look up to emulate, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to emulate potentially that male and that image that they see before them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really hurt me. But now what my best moment, you say,
Yeah.
was when they opened the doors of this museum, and we accomplished. I felt then at that time that we had accomplished what part of what we wanted to. There were some other things that we wanted to accomplish also in that, but I think this is moving quite along in the right direction anyway, from where we started, and to have a sense of finalization on something is just a joy in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It really impacts you in such a way, in a positive way, and so you see that the potential that's here, and hopefully our youth can see it and expound on it. So.
Is there anything you would change about what you did?
Mm. The only thing I would probably seek to change would be to get more people involved, and more of our people involved in a way that not just monetarily but physically, as volunteerism and things of that nature. And also a lot of our families have artifacts that we may not consider artifacts that would help our museum tell our story. So we'd like to, I would have liked to being able to encourage others to be involved as much as we were, or to see what we saw in this, the potential.
What is the most important thing to remember about this?
Is our history, I think, and the fact that we've come a long way, and we always haven't understood our forefathers and the things that they've done for us. There were a lot of things I really came to know by doing some of the research for our museum. I've come to understand some of the things that others have done before, that have been before us, that have done things that, and for our country, not just for our people, but for our country, they've done things. And they really excelled at what they did. And it caused it helped me with a lot of pride myself, you know what I mean, to realize that I was a product of a culture that is just very beautiful and very rich in its heritage.
What would be the best ending to this story?
To see our history being shown across the country and across the nation, and that our nation, we've seen now that we've had our first African American president elected, and so we can take great pride in that. But the best thing I would see, that we as a nation would be able to be unified in our efforts to live together and to promote harmony and amongst races and things of that nature, and amongst cultures, the various cultures. Our country is very rich in the area. We have cultures from all over the world coming into our country, and we have to learn to live together, because I'm a religious person also, and I believe that God made all of us to fellowship with one another. So